Okay. Okay, Ken, it is 10:59. So I will go ahead and let's get started. Please make sure that you have reviewed the PDF file that we sent out, as Ken has already answered a lot of the questions in that PDF file. And we have a PowerPoint presentation that I also sent you the link to, that you can review at your leisure after this is done. So if there's nothing else, Ken, are we good to go?
We're good to go.
All right, take it away.
You got it. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much today for joining this webinar to try to maybe get some insight as to the disaster loan program that I'm sure that you all have experienced in your various businesses. A little bit about the SBDC. We are licensed by the SBA. We're funded by the SBA, partially by the state of Texas, and then from a grant from McLennan Community College out of Waco. I am a full-time business advisor living out here in the beautiful area known as the Retreat. And anyway, our whole goal is to enlighten you today on what's going on with the disaster program. Also, from a small business development perspective, our goal is to provide a path to each of you, whether you want to start up, expand, or purchase a business. And all of our services are free of charge. We help with business plans, financial projections, whatever to help you realize your dream of owning or expanding your business. So anyway, with that said though, again, as far as the disaster program, both the president, the governor, has declared Texas a disaster area due to economic hardship from the COVID-19. And so with that said, President Trump signed off on the program here back earlier this month. And we want to quickly just go over the highlights of the program, so forth. You got the handout. I hope you have that handy. And again, who can apply? Any owner-occupied independent business, again, with employees of 500 or less. Again, the loan amount is up to $2 million. And again, the whole purpose of the loan is to provide working capital for your particular business. It doesn't fund lost revenues or lost profit, but it will fund to help pay your bills, pay your rent, accounts payable, other things like that that have been severely impacted in your business. And again, how this works, this is not a normal SBA guaranteed program. This is a separate program from that. It is strictly for the economic impacted disaster that's occurred to your business. And I encourage each of you to apply. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And so again, the funds are strictly to be used for working capital. And what will happen, the SBA loan officer, you'll apply directly online, and the SBA loan officer will make a determination of how much money you need. You will provide certain information, and he will again make a determination, hopefully up to 6 months worth of operating capital to help you pay your bills, take care of your payroll, and hopefully keep everybody intact during this very challenging time right now. Again, it must be an independent owner-operated business. Has to be directly impacted by the virus. I mean, normally, since we've had a downturn in the economy, it would not be an excuse. It has to be directly impacted by the virus. Business should be in business for at least 1 year or longer. And if it is less than that, it may be a challenge to get a loan. But I do not deter anybody from applying. Okay. So with that said, what kind of business can apply? Manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, private nonprofits. If you in that area, you can apply. You must have a physical address. Can use a PO box. Ineligible businesses, obviously, are speculative activities, gambling, religious organizations, churches, sexually oriented businesses, political concerns, life insurance companies, and anyway, other than that, most businesses should be eligible to apply. Terms, is up to, you can loan up to, get up to $2 million, and you can get multiple disaster loans if that be the case. But normally, oh, here we go. Thank you very much. We got the PowerPoint here. It's a great program. Terms 30 years. It's 3.75% interest rate. Nonprofits is 2.75. Again, and the eligibility, the amount will be based on the type and size of business and its financial resources. Collateral requirements: the first 25,000. If you need 25,000 or less, there's very little requirements. It's basically an unsecured loan, and so there's no collateral requirements. Anything over that, yes, there will be the need to take a lien on the business assets when available. And again, as I shared earlier, there's this particular, we call it idle loan, economic injury disaster loan. Disaster loan is not a part of the normal SBA programs that you might have heard about, which are guaranteed programs. And so anyway, also under the, if you happen to have an existing disaster loan and not applicable to here due to a tornado, a hurricane, or a flood or whatever, you can't consolidate those loans into this loan. Okay. Again, as it says here, working capital. There's no cost to apply. There's no obligation to take it if it's offered. Okay. And again, even if you have an existing loan, again, you can't consolidate these into another. Okay, Stacy, that's fine. Go right ahead there. Credit criteria. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I'm working on it. Let me see.
Credit history. Obviously, SBA wants to see that you have reasonable good credit. I realize that sometimes you may have some skeletons in your closet. There may be a story to it, but credit is character, and that's what we're looking for here. Do you promise to pay your bills when you operate yourself to do so? But in this case here, you probably had a hiccup in trying to do that. That's the purpose of this disaster loan. Hopefully help you out there. And again, the repayment term will be determined by the SBA loan officer. The processing center is located in Sacramento, California. So that's where all the decision making and everything will be done. So the officer will make a determination at that time, again, as far as the amount, how much you have. You don't need to request it, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Eligibility: obviously you've got to suffered losses due to the declared disaster. Also, there's another little caveat that you may see about if you have, say you have other resources, because they're going to look at SBA, as strictly for the disaster situation. But if you're a property owner or a business owner who has maybe a substantial amount of liquidity, and they look at that and say, why do you need a disaster loan when you could probably put some money into the program to help your business? So that may impact your ability to get a disaster loan. Okay, just keep that in mind. But basically, most small businesses are not sometimes too flush with cash. So, but the individuals may, and so they'll be looking at that. Again, here's the credit history. We talked about repayment. We talked about eligibility. And another area is your have you ever been indicted, arrested, or convicted? There's a form that you fill out. It's called a statement of personal history, and the SBA likes to loan to people of good character. And so if there has been a skeleton in your past, because I realize people do mess up from time to time when they were younger, whether it be DWI or misdemeanor, felonies, whatever, those would have to be cleared before they can go forward. So, but it won't next year. You can still proceed with the application. Filing requirements. One of the big things when you get online to set up to register your name and your password, please save it, because if you don't save your password, you're going to lose all your work. The SBA doesn't keep your password, so be sure and keep that once you're assigned a case number and everything. Do not lose your password to be able to log into the portal. Again, you just need to complete the SBA Form 5. Form 5 is for corporations and LLCs. If you happen to be a sole proprietor, you fill out Form 5C. Then there'll be some other documentation you'll need to fill out. One of the key components of this right now is the fact that you do not have to provide any tax returns. You will fill out what is known as an IRS request for transcript, Form 4506T, which will be on the website, that you'll need to complete for the last 3 years or ever how many years you've been in business, as far as if you've been less than 3 years. And what this form does, it allows the loan officer to pull a transcript from the IRS of your tax return. And he's going to use that along with the debt schedule that you're going to give him. There's a debt schedule form you'll fill out listing all your creditors and everybody you owe. And he'll use this to make a determination of how much money that you'll qualify for. So again, that form is very important. You'll fill one out for you personally. Also, we'll fill out one for the business. So sometimes there may be businesses doing great and the individual may be hurting really, really bad, or the business may be in the tank and the individual's doing very good. So they want to check out both sides of the equation to be sure that everything is in good shape there from a financial standpoint. You'll complete a personal financial statement form. It's pretty simple. And again, I'm here to help each of you all. If you have a problem or have a question about it, be sure and reach out to me here, because that's what we're here for, to help you out with this. You'll also fill out some other supporting information, and all this will be online. And then once you've got it all complete, and one of the biggest things that holds up the process is missing information. And so again, once you get it all done and all complete, then there's 3 ways you can send it in. You can still go online and try to submit it in the portal. I understand as of late yesterday, it may be back up. The national portal was overwhelmed because there's over 30 million businesses in the United States, small business. And who knows how many people are going to all get online at one time to get this wonderful program. So anyway, you can fill it out, you can scan it and email it to the, and we've got the addresses at the end of the handout here, or you can also print it out and use the old snail mail and type that away. So again, there's 3 ways you can get it to them. But again, we want you to feel free to apply. It should be fairly easy. Again, at the end of the handout, I've got all the websites, and they're very user friendly. So I won't go with those. And if you decide to mail it, the office here in Fort Worth is where you would mail that to. And so at this time, I know we've gone through a lot of information quickly, but again, I'm opening it up for questions.
All right. So looks like everybody's done a good job of muting themselves. So if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask the question.
Ken, this is Justin Hewlett.
Is who?
Justin Hewlett.
Hey, Justin, how you doing, bro?
Doing good. If you've got multiple businesses, do you need to make multiple applications?
If they're completely independent, yes, you can do one for each one.
Okay, I just wasn't sure how we would go about. I mean, they both have the same ownership, of course, but
Right.
Totally separate entities.
Correct. If they're totally separate, you've got X company, you got B company. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
One for each one. You bet.
Hi, it's John Lee.
Hi, John.
Is this the program that the Congress is about to pass, or is this a different program?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because we got a gorilla getting ready to come out of Congress, okay? No, this is a completely separate program. The one that's about to hopefully get passed by the House at some point in time We all are still waiting to see what information is going to be disseminated, that it's going to be under the normal SBA government guarantee program, which is separate from this one. And as far as all the particulars, we've heard different bits and pieces, but at this time, we really don't know what all is going to be coming out until we get that right now, but it is a separate deal.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, this is Bill Lee with Lee Products.
Hi,
Good
Bill.
morning, Bill.
So I was wondering if we should apply for this one or wait till the government releases the other. Should we apply for this one first right now immediately or wait?
Well, I would say probably right now, if you're being economically impacted, I'd encourage you to go ahead and do this one now. The other one's under a government guaranteed program. It will take you probably quite a bit longer to get it done. Again, it's going to have different parameters than this one, and hopefully we'll know what those are pretty soon. But as far as being able to get monies up to $2 million in a reasonable time, I didn't cover that. Right now, we really don't know how long it's taking from the time you get the application in to the time you get money in hand, because it just got released last week. And so, again, I don't know if it will be 4 weeks, it might be 5 weeks. I don't know what the timing would be because we don't know that right now. But it would be a lot quicker than going through the other program. But again, if you've got immediate needs right now, I'd highly encourage you to go ahead and apply for this one right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Ken, this is Kathy Canella.
Hey, Kathy, you feeling better?
I'm hanging in there.
There you go. Go ahead.
2 questions. The first question is, I'm a LLC self-proprietor. Do I do the Form 5C or the 5?
You go ahead and I do the Form 5.
Okay.
Be
Cool.
fine.
And the second is, and you may have addressed this, but I don't recall because my mind's not working correctly. Is this going to affect credit score when we do this? How does that work?
Does it affect your credit score?
Yeah, when you apply for this, does it go towards like an inquiry, or how does that work?
Well, no, they'll run the credit score. They'll run
Right.
the credit. Sure. But as far as affecting your credit score, I'm not sure what you're asking here.
Oh, well, if it doesn't affect anything, I'm sure it'll be fine.
No. Hey, hopefully your credit score will affect this. No, that'd be good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, that's what that would be on that side there.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Tommy Forsyth.
Hi,
Hey,
Tommy.
How you doing, bro?
Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Doing fine, bro.
Hey, I did hear a question regarding the other program, and we've actually already started getting considerable information on that. And if you would like, I can share some of the high points on the other program, because it will not be going through the normal SBA process with all of the required documentation that would normally be the case. So if you want to get a 30,000 foot view of that, I'll be happy to do that. Understanding everyone that it's still in the House for approval. Hopefully later today, the vote's scheduled and then still has to be signed in to law.
Okay. Well,
Very, very quickly, and again, this is a 30,000 foot view, but I do want to give it to you because the program does not allow someone to participate with a disaster loan and the stimulus. So if you participate and receive disaster funding, then you're not able to duplicate into the bill with the stimulus package. The stimulus package includes $349 billion for this program. It's called the Paycheck Protection Program. It is an expedited process that comes with a potential debt forgiveness component to it. No personal guarantees, no collateral, to get the funds out quickly to the businesses. As a result, much of the normal documentation that would be required on a normal SBA loan that Ken was referencing will not be in place on this so that the funds can be disseminated quickly. So that is a very high level. Those are points in there that have been in the bill since the negotiations, started and has been passed by the Senate. It is highly anticipated. All of those provisions I just mentioned to you will stay in the bill, but without getting into a lot of granular detail at the moment. I did just want to hit that high point because if you receive disaster funding, you're not eligible for the stimulus program that's going to be available through the SBA. So that's just real quick high point. Since the question was asked, I wanted to, make those couple of comments. And again, we're all waiting for the House to pass it, which hopefully will be today. They have scheduled a vote for today, and then still has to be signed by the president.
Thank you so much, Tommy. You're the man. I tell you, thanks for jumping in there, particularly the duplication factor for sure. So anyway, well, I just figure when it comes out, there's going to write a whole different new SOP for that. But well, that's good. Very good. I appreciate you sharing that. Now then, we'll see what happens with Congress, right? Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, Ken, this is
Yes,
Steve.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just one comment on that. The SBA stressed on the webinar yesterday. I'm also with the SBDC. They stressed yesterday that you can apply for the disaster loan. You do not have to accept the offer they give you. So you can apply for this one, and then you can still participate in the other program, and you can choose which one meets your needs. So even if they offer your loan, that doesn't mean you have to accept the loan. You have 6 months to accept or reject that loan. So that's the reason they're encouraging you to apply for both, because they don't know how long each one's going to take. So that's all.
Thank you, Steve. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? No more questions?
No more questions. Wait a minute.
No more questions. Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, I'd just like to say on behalf of the SBDC, Stacy, we appreciate you and Tara and the gals putting this all together. Particularly, you've done a lot of work on this. And again, I would just like to reiterate, if anybody has any questions out there regarding the disaster program, and then we'll maybe doing this again soon with the other program once it comes to fruition, and glad to help you in any way that we can. And again, remember, all of our services are free. That's huge.
All right. And if anybody needs the PDF of the sheet that Ken was talking about, you can email me. And the PowerPoint presentation is also on YouTube. You can email me for that link too. I think most of you got it if you were able to log into this meeting. So if we have no more questions, thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Oh, Tara, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to real quickly just thank everybody for doing this. We hope to do more. If you have ideas of information or webinars that you want to do, let us know. And just remember that the chamber's here for you. Jerry's been a huge resource for many of you. And so reach out to us and let us know. We're still answering our phones and emails, and we may not know all the answers, but we will find them for you and just try to be here to assist you. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Y'all have a blessed weekend. Thank you so much, Stacey. All right.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye-bye.